Hey everyone, Josh Merhar here, and today I'm going to show you how to play drums in 15/16. Contrary to popular belief, there are lots of very functional and cool ways to use a time signature like this. So let's check out a few ways to break down 15/16. 15/16 might seem kind of crazy on the surface, but if we can relate it to more familiar meters like 4/4, 3/4, or 5/4, it seems way more accessible. To start, we'll work off a regular measure of 4/4. There are 16 16th notes in one measure of 4. So we could also think of it like one measure of 16/16 instead of 4/4. If we just hack off the very last 16th note, we are left with a measure of 15/16. And it can feel like 3 beats of 16th notes and then 3/4 of a 4th beat, like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and 1. I'll start with a super basic groove in 4/4, but I'm going to drop the last 16th note of beat 4, and it should kind of sound like a record skipping. Let's get mathy. So we have 15 spaces to fill. We could divide each measure of 15 into 5 groupings of 3 or 3 groupings of 5. We'll work with 5 groupings of 3 first. We could take a shuffle pattern, which is the first and last partial of a beat of triplets, and use that as our grouping of 3 and 16th notes. And we'll keep the backbeat in that 4/4 feel. I'll start by playing the first example again before switching into the shuffle on the hi-hats. Since we're working with 5 groupings of 3, we can make a measure of 15/16 feel like a measure of triplets in 5/4. So we can pull a metric modulation and pivot out of 15 and into 5. We'll modulate from playing the shuffle in the 4/4 feel into one of those Purdie shuffle in 5 grooves that I broke down in a recent video, and then we'll modulate back into the shuffle in the 4/4 feel again. Now let's check out playing 15 as 3 groupings of 5. For the 5, we'll play the first, third, and fourth partial of each grouping on the hi-hats. 3 repetitions of the 5 grouping fit evenly into each measure of 15. When played over the 4/4 backbeat, your ear will probably get thrown off by that 5 grouping at first, so start very, very slowly. Starting with the 4 feel before switching into the 5 pattern on the hi-hats, it sounds like this. Since we're working with 3 groupings of 5, we can also make a measure of 15/16 feel like a measure of quintuplets in 3/4. So we can pull a metric modulation and pivot out of 15 and into 3. For the sake of making everything groove, I'll play a straight backbeat relative to the quintuplets to make 2 measures of 3 feel like one big measure of 6. After grooving on the quintuplet feel for a bit, we'll modulate back into the 4/4 feel under the 5 grouping on the hi-hats. Once you feel comfortable with each of these exercises, put them all together to get one big groove superimposition sequence of death. So we'll start with the record skipping 4/4 feel, then we're going to get the shuffle going on the hi-hats, then we'll modulate into the 5/4 triplet feel, then back into the 4/4 record skipping thing, and then we'll get the 5 grouping going on the hi-hats, and then we'll modulate into like the quintuplet 3/4 feel, and then we'll go back to the original 4/4 record skipping thing. Here we go. From there, it's just a matter of mixing all these variations together. The more you play in 15/16, the better you'll be able to feel out the space in each measure. Start slow and simple and very gradually add more detail. If you can internalize a bunch of different ways to feel out a measure of 15, you won't have to think so hard about how to fill the space. If you like what you saw in this video, check out my Patreon page. Your support grants you access to transcriptions for this video, as well as transcriptions for all my other lesson videos. And follow me on Instagram, @drummerhard, to see more videos of my playing. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.